I'm not picking this up. Says New York.
No, I do live in Jersey now, but I've only been here for a couple of years.
Where do you live in Jersey?
I'm in this little white bread town called
Windsor.
East Windsor, yeah.
Oh, I know where that is.
It's next to West Windsor. It's
Like the neighborhood is so generic. When me and my wife moved there, we would like miss the house, 3 or 4 times around the block.
That happens.
But hey, man, I got a basement now for my drums, and got my man cave on. So I dig it. I'm down.
Neighbors aren't complaining about the drums?
No, surprisingly not.
You play during the day or you don't play at night, do you?
Yeah, I don't play at night. It's only occasionally I'll have to take a break from working, and I got to sit down and rock to Stained Class or Killers or something like that.
So they're probably enjoying it, so they're not going to complain.
Yeah, my mother-in-law's like, "Oh, that's sounding really good. Yeah, I like that."
So maybe we could practice Earth Wizard at that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite drummer then, Nico or Clapper?
Oh, Clive Burr.
Yeah. Come on.
Nico's
I
terrible.
hate him.
Terrible?
I hate.
Well,
That's a little
He's not
harsh.
terrible.
Yeah,
he's not terrible.
But he has no style. He has no finesse.
If you can just get,
He's got a great nose.
If you can take away,
He's a very good-looking man.
I would just wish someone would take away his ride cymbal, and just because that's all he does, and it's, I mean, Clive Burr was phenomenal. I thought he was. The best.
He's one of my idols. My idols, man.
Can't believe that he passed away. It was just recently.
It was horrible. But there was that whole wave where all the good drummers went, like Bill Ward out of Sabbath. You get.
I was like, he's dead. When did that happen?
Yeah.
Just his career.
Yeah.
Poor guy, and no more Clive Burr, and no more Les Binks out of Judas Priest. I mean, I think that was
really?
one of the biggest travesties ever. Who hired Dave Holland over Les Binks? I mean, that's.
And we're Dave Lombardo and Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the story with Bill Ward? Because they said that he put out a statement that there wasn't an agreement that they could make or something. But then other people are saying now that he just doesn't have the skill level.
Right. Ozzy had come out and said that he couldn't remember the arrangements, and
really?
Which I don't I could understand. He's an older guy, he seems like.
I just find that hard to believe.
I only listened to a little bit of the new Sabbath, and to me the drums were so different than original Ozzy Sabbath that I just couldn't get into
as
it.
soon as when I found out they took the drummer from Rage Against the Machine, I wasn't even interested.
I thought out of all that, like you're gonna do that, it was almost like when Van Halen got together with Michael Anthony and they put his son out instead.
Yeah.
Like really?
Oh.
You felt like that David Lee Roth back in the band, and you bring Wolfgang instead of Michael Anthony. Come on.
Well, there was some kind of feud, I guess, with them. Or?
Yeah. There's always
part of what it is they were mad at him because he was talking to Hagar again, when they were split from him. But when they did the reunion tour with Hagar a couple years ago, they weren't going to rehire Michael Anthony for that even. And everyone's like, what?
I heard that he had his own brand of hot sauce, and he kept mentioning his hot sauce too much.
Oh, who?
Really? That's what they were saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who, Hagar or?
No, Michael Anthony.
Yeah. Oh.
I think Eddie's
I always hated
nuts.
Van
He probably got that from Sammy Hagar and Cabo Wabo.
Living Dead Dolls.
Yeah. Metal Rose Magazine t-shirts.
I was wearing my Metal Rules t-shirt yesterday.
That's right, you were telling me.
You should have worn it today.
But it was like 3X or something. I don't know.
Why do you have a 3X?
He used to be really fat.
Why would you have a 3X?
Kevin used to be
it's a nightgown.
he was the size of the singer from Poison Idea at one time, right?
Yeah, or Tad.
Or Tad from.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about that Seattle band.
Yeah.
Band, right?
The guy, I think the band was Tad, wasn't Tad?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh yeah, come on.
I almost had a shot at that band too.
Yeah, you had to do
You had
that.
an in.
I had a friend, this guy Dan House, who's another band in Seattle called.
Oh, you actually did have it in.
Yeah, and he called me up. He was like, "Hey, Tad needs a drummer," and I was like, "Wow."
You're like, "No, I don't. I am a drummer."
Yeah,
I am a drummer.
I was like, "That sounds cool, but I can't imagine what kind of horrible conditions I'd be living in, in Seattle." It's not like Tad was a terribly successful band.
Yeah.
Have you ever auditioned for any bigger bands that?
Well, yeah, I tried out for Overkill.
Did you?
Shortly after Toxic, and it went great. We got along, and I think the bass player actually told me I had the gig, and I was like, great, man. I was totally into it, but then I guess they also wanted to get rid of their guitar player. They weren't getting along with Gustafsson, and the label was like, "No, you can't. You got to have either or. You can't fire two guys." And unfortunately, I wasn't in, which was too bad because they were super cool guys, and that was like during Years of Decay.
Oh my God!
Overkill was the first band I ever saw.
That old stuff was great.
Yeah, that album was so
good. You played with the Great Cat too, right?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
You played with the Great Cat?
Yeah.
Cat rules, cat rules, cat rules,
the Great Cat
rules.
is God. You see him on, remember the Morton Downey Jr. show?
Yeah.
And she would be like, suck my dick more. It's like, I bet you have one. But yeah, I'm on like, she was like halfway through that record, Beethoven on Speed, and she decided she didn't like her drummer. And I still knew my Monty Connor, who's still a good friend of mine who was a road racer.
He's got his own thing now, right?
Yeah, now he's in Nuclear Blast.
Right, yeah.
And he called me up and was like, "You want to play with Kat?" I was like, "Hell no." And he was like, "Yeah, well, but she'll pay you some money and this and that." And I was like, "Well,
money's good.
money, yeah, I'm into money." So I met her and she loved me. I did like some of the tracks, and then she was like, "You want to do a tour?" I was like, as long as there are no shows in New York where anyone will recognize me. and actually, that it turned out to be a great experience.
You toured with Great Cat?
Yeah, I did. I did like a 2-week tour.
This dude's awesome.
Yeah. And but like the best part of it was our sound man was this guy Chris Kozlowski, who had been the sound man for like the Melvins and Trouble, and so like he would bring up bands like Witchfinder General and stuff. I was like, wow, I can't believe anyone is down with that, And I discovered this whole scene that was going on down in Maryland with bands like Internal Void and Unorthodox and Iron Man, where time had just like stopped. Like these people they didn't even recognize like Corrosion of Conformity. Like even that was not that was too new. And I was like, wow, this is great. And I got like way back into Doom because of that Great Cat tour.
Huh. So that's how you got into the direction of what you're doing now. Because of the Great Cat.
That's really what solidified it. Yeah.
What was she like on a personal level?
She
pretty
was
much the same thing.
She was wild. I mean, she was always cool to me.
Did you bang her?
I had the opportunity, but I turned it down. We started to like.
Was she high strung all the time?
Yeah. And
she's not very big though. She's teeny, right?
No, she's real small.
Right.
And she was always grabbing me and stuff, and so like I kind of reciprocated one time, and her ass was just a mess. And I was
literally or just collectively.
She had two cracks.
What was this way? What was that?
Yeah. She had a swastika crack.
Yeah, and I just lost it. I just lost the impulse. I was like, nah.
And where is she now?
She's still doing it.
Is she really?
She contacted me not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah, she's still making records.
No shit.
Apparently her family has a lot of money.
Yeah, I heard that before. She went to Juilliard.
Yeah, I mean, she's like a prodigy. I can't say she's not talented.
Why did she do shit? Like, why didn't she do something good?
That's the thing, I mean, if she could have not sang and just played in like a good band, she probably would have had a really good career,
I think we're gonna take a quick break and come back.